Hi, my name's Bronwyn Easley and I'm from Tasmania, Australia, and I was recently invited to be a guest designer for Paper Rose Studio. I was given the beautiful bees and butterflies collection to work with, and I made 9 projects with the papers and the embossed die cuts, and I'll show you that collection on the screen. So what I'm going to do is walk you through the different projects that I made. I made 9 in total, and I have a PDF download of instructions for every single project that I've made and showing you today, and I'll have the links to my blog posts in the description below. So make sure you continue to watch, as I'll be making more videos in the future for Paper Rose Studio, and I'd love you to come along and join me in this journey. So first of all, I started off with making a little butterfly easel card, and this will actually fit, even though I've got it in a US sized envelope, it will actually fit into a note card envelope as well. And I made it with lovely papers, as you can see, as well as I just added some adhesive milky dots there. And the top butterfly layer is from the Frost White Shimmer cardstock by Paper Rose, and I've also used their craft cardstock as well for the base of the card. And this one works like an easel, and you just lift it up like that and it will actually sit quite well by itself. I didn't actually do a stopper for that particular one. So this is made with the Vanessa butterfly metal cutting die. It's the large Vanessa butterfly die in the range for Paper Rose Studio. So that was project number 1, butterfly easel. Right, project number 2, I used the large butterfly die, Vanessa butterfly die, as well as the small Vanessa butterfly die, and used the beautiful papers once again from the Bees and Butterflies collection. And I added some little faceted gems to this one. And the cardstock for this one is in the pack of golden shimmer cardstock. So you get a variety of different colours in that pack. And I think this is the golden one, Golden Dreams or something. I'm not sure, I'll have to check on that. But I have a full list of all the supplies in every single tutorial that I've written. And this one's called a double butterfly easel card, because obviously there are 2 easel cards that I have made, and they prop up against each other. And then I've got a little stopper here that I just basically fussy cut another little flower out from the papers, put it on a, stuck it on with a little foam adhesive dot. And I've also added some little crystal stickles, glitter glue, to the center of all the flowers on that pattern paper. So that's the double butterfly easel card made with the Vanessa butterfly dies. So that's project number 2. Project number 3 was a triple butterfly easel card, and this is made with the Allura butterfly dies and the Allura layered butterfly die, the large one. And then these 2 dies are out of the Allura layered trio butterfly dies. So both metal cutting die sets from Paper Rose. And once again, I've used the cute papers from the Bees and Butterflies, different ones on each little butterfly there. I've used some little champagne rhinestones that I had in my stash, and that lovely Golden Dreams shimmer cardstock. And for this one, I've stamped it with a little sentiment, and that's also a Paper Rose stamp from a Paper Rose stamp set. And I had to use some stays on for that, obviously, because this is a very shiny embossed label that comes from the embossed die cuts in the range, and everything coordinates so beautifully. So that's the triple butterfly easel card that I've made. 3 single easel cards sitting on a normal sized card base, and you could put that on a US size card base, or one made from an A4, so metric size card base as well. So that's the first lot of cards that I've done. They're all easel cards. You'll see a recurring theme in all of the cards that I've made. They're actually, most of them are easel cards, except for a couple of ones towards the end. So this next one I made using the Hexagon stitched nested dies, and you see that I like to add something to my envelopes too, and this is just a little embossed die cut. Oh, actually, I think that's from the designer series paper that I cut out from the paper collection. So, and then I just snipped off the corners to make it so it looked, you know, because this is a hexagonal shape, I just did that for that particular graphic that I wanted to use on the envelope. So here we have a hexagonal easel card, and as I said, we've used the bees and butterflies collection, and I've been really concentrating on the butterflies, as you can see, but this one's all about the bees using that hexagon shape. And once again, I've turned this into an easel card. I've used 2 embossed die cuts. Now, if I didn't add those, they would fit inside a US envelope, but as it was a little bit wide, so if you wanted to put it, you know, inside a smaller envelope, you would have to make sure that your butterflies were in a little bit, but it fits inside a C6 envelope quite easily, and you can see that it's an easel card. And once again, I've added an embossed die cut, stamped the happy birthday on it from the Paper Rose set of stamps, which I cannot remember the name at the moment, but as I said, all my supply lists are in each tutorial. And there we have a simple easel card made with the hexagon nesting, I think they're called stitched nesting dies, or hexagon stitched dies. There we go. So that's project number 4. Project number 5. Yes, it's another easel card, but this is a 6x6 size easel card, so it's a much larger one, if I can get it out. I just love the papers in this collection. Isn't that gorgeous? I've got a little embossed die cut on there. Now, you'd call this the front cover, but when you display it, it's actually sits on that, and you can see that sits on a what I call a block or a rectangular prism stopper that I've made there. And you can see that I've got the little bee and the butterfly extended, so they look like they're flying in the air. I've just added little strips of acetate to the back of that one, and I've also used the wonky picket fence die from Paper Rose Studio along the front there, and I simply fussy cut out another lot of this beautiful pattern paper and put it along the fence line there. Added some more embossed die cuts, a couple of bees and the little butterfly there, and then just got the sentiment straight out of the pattern paper. Once again, I've just added a little gold pearl that I had in my stash to the sentiment label. So that's I think we're up to project number 4. That's project number 5. So when to shut this easel card, you just simply fold down and then fold that one down on itself and pop inside a 6x6, 6¼ sorry, and by 6¼ inch sized envelope for that particular card. All right, project number, what are we up to? 6. So this one, yet again, is another easel card, and I think this is my personal favourite one. This is made with, once again, the stitched hexagon dies. So it's made from 3 different sized nesting dies for this particular one. I think I used the 5th largest one and the third largest die for to make the actual frame. And for the acetate, there that I've embossed. I think I used the 4th largest hexagon die to cut that acetate out. Now before I added that acetate in between my frame here, as you can see, I actually embossed it with a 3D leafy embossing folder from Paper Rose Studio, and it just gives it a little bit more texture, and I really like the look of it. So you've got this window effect, but it's not completely open. So once again, this rests on a stopper, but the unique thing about this stopper, is I've made a teeny tiny little butterfly easel there, which the card top rests against. And I think I've called this one a Hexagon easel card with acetate window. I'm not really sure, but you'll have to look back and see what I wrote in my tutorial on that one. So once again, beautiful embossed die cuts have been added to the frame. That is an embossed die cut that I added, and that's just the smallest sized Allura layered butterfly die in the trio that I used for that particular butterfly easel. Added a nice big die cut down here to the card as well. So that is project number, I think I'm up to project number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is number 6. Wonderful. So to just close the card, you push down the easel there, push that one down flat on itself, and there you have it. Another lovely easel card. Right, for the 7th project I used the confetti jar number 1, I think it's called, metal cutting die from Paper Rose Studio, and I simply made a little honey jar out of it. This is an embossed die cut label that I cut down to fit inside the shape, and added some twine around. The honey dipper, the bees, they were embossed die cuts as well from the pack. And I just simply made a little note card out of that one there. So that's not an easel card, it's just a simple little note card, but using the same sort of construction there, I actually did this second one as an easel card, and you can see that I've used the little tag from the cutting dies, the confetti jar number 1 cutting die, and I've just cut down a tab that was an embossed die cut. It was actually a little tab, and I just snipped the tabs off and used that as my easel stopper on there. Just put it on stick it down with some foam dots, and once again I've added little crystal stickles to the flower centers just to give it a little bit more shine. And as you can see on the back there, that's how I've constructed that particular easel card using the confetti jar die. All right, next project, and the last project. This is project number 9. I thought I would, there's a hexagon shaped cutting die in the confetti jar metal cutting dies, and I thought, oh, I might use up some of the little paper scraps that I've got from using this collection of papers, and I thought I would use this particular idea. I've seen this idea on the internet. It's not new. I think I came across probably about 5 or 6 different people doing this particular design on Pinterest, so I don't know who to credit exactly with this idea, but I just love the idea of having the little opening window there, and then having the sentiment on the inside of your card, and all the other hexagon shapes just made with the scrap pieces of paper. And then I've just added a little embossed die cut bee to that section, so his wings sort of hang over the window there. And with this particular hexagon die, all the sides are not exactly the same length, and I got caught out a little bit, so you have to be pretty careful on that one. I could have probably used a small stitched hexagon die from the other set of dies that I used for that larger easel card, but I thought this was a cute little one. I thought, oh yes, I'll use this one. And I was cutting out the papers and I realised, oh, oops, I've got to have the paper, this seems to be a little bit taller that way than it is that way. So I had to be a little bit careful and I had to rearrange the papers. So when you're cutting, if you're using that die, make sure that you are mindful of the fact that you have to have all the dies going this die shape, going the same way, because it isn't. It's actually an irregular hexagon in a way, because it doesn't have the sides all the same. Okay, so that's that one, and that is the last of the projects that I did. And once again, I like to decorate my envelopes. So that 9 projects in total for the Bees and Butterflies collection. But what I did while I was waiting for my papers to come is I decided that I would come up with some easel card designs before the papers arrived. So then I'd written a tutorial and I was just ready to go, and just had to substitute the name of the papers that I used in this particular card design and just switch it over to Bees and Butterflies. So here's this card, this particular card, done with the lavender and fairies paper, which I absolutely love, 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 love. And see, once again, the picket fence, the little butterfly embossed die cut there is popped up on a bit of cardstock that I've cut out. And I've used a label, embossed die cut label, once again with a happy birthday sentiment. I wasn't going to do it straight onto the label that time. I just did it on a bit of cardstock and cut it out. So that was the prelude to this particular one. As you can see, if I can just get those there. So the Bees and Butterflies, the Lavender and Fairies version. And yes, I do have a free tutorial for this particular one as well, which you can access from my website. Right, the last one that I did, and as I said, this particular one was my personal favourite. It's called a double easel card because you've got 2 easels here. You've got a little butterfly easel and you've got your sort of hexagon shaped easel on a portrait card base there. And I thought this is the first idea that I did come up with, and I used I think it's called Dear Isabella collection for my first go on this particular card style. Just so I was ready to go when these papers came. I just really wanted to have a mock run through on a couple of design ideas. So I used the little Allura layered trio butterfly there and added some little pearls to it, and actually used the intricate die cut on the top of that one. I wished I'd actually used one of the embossed die cuts like I did on this example here. But as I said, this was a trial run and a bit of a mock-up of what I was hoping to do when I got the papers for this particular one. And yes, the tutorial is available on this one. I did make a bit of a mistake with that one on the back. I used the wrong cutting dies because I was thinking I would be doing a much smaller frame. I ended up doing a little bit of a thicker frame, and that's the reason why I did a run through. So when I got this collection, I was able to just go ahead and make it without any problems at all. So I nutted through all the design technique that I was going to do, and I just hoped that I would get it right the second time. So that's the collection that I've done. I hope you've enjoyed my walk through today. Please go over and visit my blog, addictivedesigns.com, and you'll see all those tutorials, as I said, as free downloads from my website. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Give me a like. It'd be lovely, and I'd love to see some more subscribers. So thank you for joining me today.